Um, when I was a kid, one of my not even an experience, but a story that my I know I'm segueing real fast, like right. Uh, one of the stories that my parents used to tell me were about La Sirene or um, Met Gloa, which means sirens, right? Or Met Glo, which is the master of the water, or in this case, I guess you could say the mistress of the water. And so, like a lot of people in Haiti, in Jamaica, in the West Indies in general, understand that there is something in the water in the immediate vicinity of where it is they swim. And here's the thing: in Haiti, not everybody goes to beaches. Sometimes they go to rivers, right? Or little rivulets or little creeks and stuff that are available for people to go swimming in. And so when people get to these places, there are weird things that go down in this water. I am trying to tell you. Look, as a kid growing up, one of the things I recognized about what my parents, and my parents are straight shooters. They don't believe in a lot of stuff. Like they are not hocus pocus, voodoo witchy, like weird like that. They're not like that. Like they are not like me. They're not. I can say that with all confidence. My parents are very serious people. They are about their finances, their money, their family, God, and all that, right? And so they don't really have time for things like this. When I discuss the flat Earth with them, they're like, "Whatever, man. I ain't trying to hear all that." A lot of times they're just not. They're like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's nice, but whatever. I ain't trying to hear all that." But when I was a kid growing up, one of the things that they spoke about and everybody knew about was La Sirene and Met Gloa. So I don't know if Santero's here, but Santero is from the DR. And DR, Haiti, we share the same piece of land, right? So I can guarantee you that what I'm saying, the Dominicans have basically the same thing. On these, one of the things I noticed also is that on these islands, right? Whether you're in Haiti, Dominican Republic, St. Lucia, St. Martin, whatever, these islands have their own spirits on them. What they are, I have no idea. But you ask anybody that lives on these places, that live or come from these places, they're going to tell you. See, there you go. Santero knows. Santero knows, and he could talk about that thing. He's like, oh, so the thing is also Santero coming from there knows a lot more about that stuff than I ever will. And I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a first generation American. My parents being from Haiti. Me as a kid growing up, every once in a while I would go to Haiti for the summertime and I would chill out over there. But I did not live in Haiti like that. Okay. So I didn't have those same experiences that native Haitians did. Now, I'm saying all that to say this is that back then you had stories and you had instances of La Sirene or Met Gloa, whatever you want to call them. In this instance, we'll call them La Sirene, mermaid, right? Getting people, taking people, not necessarily drowning people, but snatch people. You go swimming at a certain time. I'm sure Santero could probably stress what it is I'm saying because I can't go into too much detail because I don't know like that. I didn't live there, right? But there are times where you are not to go swimming in that water, whether it's certain days of the week, whether it's certain holidays, whether it's after you ate, I don't know, a can of sardines, I don't know, right? There are certain times it's like, oh, you finish eating pineapple, do not get in the water. Because if you get in the water, La Sirene is going to grab you. Or La Sirene is going to snatch you and then you're going to be gone. Now, the things that go on with La Sirene is that a lot of times these people and this is what turns out, not that people die, but people get snatched up to be gone for a long time sometimes. We have an instance of a lady that got snatched up by La Sirene, right? And so not we, not me, but people went to the village, like the village old man, the village elder, the oldest guy in the village, right? And they asked him for help. And so that man would do certain rituals and everything else. Like Haiti is a very spiritual, at least old Haiti was a very spiritual country, right? And a lot of these West Indian countries still hold on to the original, the natural way of doing things. And so they have their way in which they can contact or buddy with the water spirits or the local spirits to where they maintain some kind of relationship or an understanding. And with that, they can make certain things happen, right? You have a lot of Haitian people, believe it or not, that don't know how to swim. Meanwhile, they live on an island because they are petrified of these creatures in there. Now, um, there was a woman that had gotten kidnapped, that got snatched up by La Sirene. After she got snatched up, they had her for years. And what's crazy is sometimes like you come back different when they get you. You come back and your mind is different. You come back and you won't sometimes some people are not able to talk. They come back from their experience with this thing snatching them. And when these things snatch them, when I say snatch them, I mean like kidnap them. When these things kidnap them, right? They bring them to wherever the hell they live, and then you belong to them, and they like force you into some form of slavery. It's like you become their maid, like you become freaking Mrs. Garrett or Benson Dubois, something like that. You know what I'm saying? You become their maid, you become their servant, and then after your time is served, like they send you back. But when they send you back, you can be blind, you can be mute, you can have lost all of your scruples, right? Now, I'm talking about that because I've spoken about it before, but I'm talking about it today because we have an instance. Let me show y'all. We have an instance right here Hold on. We have an instance right here where I'm at. Y'all can see me? There we go. Yeah. We have an instance right here. Boom. Where this man gets kidnapped by dolphins. Let's let it go ahead and play. And let's let this dude do the talking.
All right, y'all.
And this is More Black Balloon. Shout out to More Black Balloon for getting this content and making sure that everybody could see it. But this is More Black Balloon relaying this story. So let's check him out and make sure you subscribe to the brother. He's got some good content.
We back with a crazy video today, man. This dolphin stuff, insane. I saw a bunch of y'all ask me to cover it. I was like, I'm gonna get to it. Don't even worry about it. We definitely got to go over this.
And I don't know if y'all heard this story, but if you didn't, this is what it is.
Check out, some other people talking about it on the internet. And yeah, this is an unbelievable story right here. I can't lie to you. Why not? Let's just jump right into it. Got a bunch of different clips to play from people talking about it. I thought this would be a very interesting video. And I also pulled up the Talk to Dolphins law as well that we'll read over in a second, because as you do know, it is generally considered illegal to talk to dolphins or interact with them in any way. Wild dolphins. Let's put that out there. Check out this first clip, y'all. Just a general, summary of what happened.
Florida man claims to have been kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. The man was found early Monday morning on the side of a beach in Lee County, soaking wet, dehydrated, and confused. When deputies arrived, he was drawing detailed diagrams in the sand. According to the man, a pod of dolphins took him while he was swimming and brought him to a place about 40 feet under the surface. He said they forced him to help build underwater structures. He told deputies the dolphins communicated with him using clicks. He said the group had a leader named Gerald who somehow helped him live underwater.
All right. Yo, I'm sorry. Be like, yo, Gerald, man, yes, you can have some sardines, but make sure you get your ass to stacking them bricks. Don't be sitting here disrespecting me. All right, Gerald, my bad. Fucking Gerald, man. What an asshole. Wow. A dolphin by the name of Gerald. Whatever. Okay. But let's listen. Let's continue.
Possibly by creating an airspace. The man spent 3 days working on what he described as cities, towns, and condo-like structures. When the dolphins were satisfied with his work, they sent him back to the surface and told him they would return for phase 2. Medical staff treated him for dehydration, but found no signs of head injury or mental confusion. Tests showed seawater and marine particles in his lungs, suggesting he had been deep underwater for a long time without typical lung damage. This was unusual and raised questions for doctors. The man holds a master's degree in aerospace engineering and has experience with deep sea technology, which he says is why the dolphins chose him. Some people.
Now that's what I think is crazy. I don't know how the hell them dolphins knew unless they got his LinkedIn or something like that, and then they caught his ass out there. But here's what I could tell you as far as what they mentioned before. This is strange. This is strange indeed. But what I could tell you is that when I was a diver, my time, I used to work with dolphins, right? And prior to us splashing, getting in the water, we would have to call the mammal handlers. Now, these mammal handlers that we worked with, they were a bunch of interns. Was it used to be Geraldine? Huh? These mammal handlers were these interns that were basically working with sea lions and dolphins where I was stationed at, where I was diving at, right? And prior to splashing and getting in the water, we had to let these motherfuckers know, like, hey, we're about to splash at pier, blah blah blah, or wharf, blah blah blah, and like, please keep them motherfuckers away from there. So the thing is that they could recall their dolphins. They could communicate with these guys, and they could also do the same thing with the sea lions. The sea lions, these just the sea lions and the dolphins. Let me tell you, like when you see them in real life, it is not it is not like Flipper or it's not like Wally the walrus from Woody Woodpecker. These things are terrifying when you see them in the water. Even when I used to see manatees in the water, anytime they appear in front of me, it looked like a gigantic freaking doodoo the size of a Volkswagen, right? Just appears right in front of you, and it's the most terrifying feeling in the world. You know what I'm saying? When you have these fucking creatures that are not people just appear in front of you with a big mustache and just look like a big, like deformed piece of crap. It's yeah, yeah. It takes a while to get used to, right? It takes a while to get used to. Like earlier, I don't know if you were here, but I was talking about the freaking guy that got kidnapped by a bunch of freaking dolphins, right? Uh, and it's funny, right? It sounds crazy, but here's the thing: is I was talking about how in Haiti, my parents would talk about la sirène, which are sirens, and Met Glo, which is the master or the mistress of the water. Glo is water. Met is like master or mistress. So this was something common when I was a kid, and what they said. And this is the thing that I wanted to mention was that when people got kidnapped by them, they always described the mer people that lived in the water. They said when we got in the water on land on the surface, they look like people, but as soon as you go into the water, they said they look like big sardines, a bunch of sardines. I don't know if you guys ever saw SpongeBob and those fish would sit there. It would look like a real fish talking, like,
Yeah.
oh, who lives in a pineapple
Is that
island,
like
right?
based off of Greek mythology as well?
Yeah,
All the-
yeah. And so the fish would sit there talking with the people. And then the people always said the same thing. They look like kingfish or sardines talking. He was like, it was a bunch of sardines just talking to me, telling me that I needed to clean it where they lived. And a lot of the thing, basically, what I'm saying is that these people got kidnapped by them. Recently, a guy got kidnapped by a dolphin or a bunch of dolphins, and they made him like build a whole bunch of shit where they live.
Or he was on some crazy acid.
He was on, but they said that they did a test on him, and then they found a bunch of marine life and shit like that in his lungs. And here's the thing: is as soon as you try to breathe water, your lungs are collapsing. You can't breathe that shit. There's no way in hell. That atmosphere is so dense for your lung. As soon as you start to breathe it in, you're gonna black out. Or you're gonna
Displacement.
choke until you die.
Sounds like you watched that movie, The Story of Water. I don't know if you watched that movie or not. It's where there's people that live in the water, and this one girl was born outside somehow, and she had to return to the water. It's a good story, The Story of Water. It's weird.
I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's crazy how
You said mermaids.
it was quite a thing, you know, The Story of Water.
And you still
It's
have,
it's about a 4 or 5 year old movie.
if you look at Monty's map, you still have Nixies. You still have those Nixies down in the South, especially in the South. They got them all over the place. And here's the thing: is down in the West Indies, the Caribbean, your Haiti, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, all them things, all them countries right there, Cuba, and all that. That's where you find a lot of your mermaids. That's where you find a lot of these weird water spirits. I'm saying that because what's the movie that everybody runs to when they see mermaids? Not Splash, The Little Mermaid.
Mermaid? Yeah.
The Little Mermaid, right? That takes place in the West Indies.